Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Kevin Jones, your spiritual operator, your unconventional chaplain. Hey, today I want to share with you the secret to being confident. Let's talk about it. So this story starts with an experience I had with a nasogastric tube. So I was doing some training when I was in the Army, and it had to do with medical stuff in the emergency room. And when I was in the ER, when I was in the emergency room, I was working with other medics and civilians and residents and doctors and world-renowned surgeons. And when I was working in the ER world outside of the military, but I was working as a military student, when I was doing that, I personally had been trained with a lot of hands-on stuff. Now, I still had some of the knowledge that came along with that, but if I was going to say I faulted anywhere, it probably would be on the side of heavy experience. In other words, I had a lot of experience, but only the bare essentials when it came to knowledge. Now, on the other hand, I had a resident that had a lot of knowledge experience and very little hands-on. And here's how that all came to be. So the resident took charge and decided that she was going to actually administer the nasal gastric tube, which goes in through your nose and down the back of your throat into your stomach. And so she was going to administer this to a lady, and the lady was not having it. So the resident began to even force the procedure on the patient, and it just wasn't going well. Now, this is where I came in. After the resident walked away and was very upset, and the actual patient was very upset, I walked over to the patient and I said, I see what's going on. I know how uncomfortable that these can be. And I said, and let me tell you a secret. You see that lady over there who is helping you? She's never had an NG tube. She's never had a nasal gastric tube. And I said, but I have. I've had many of them. And I said, I know a secret on how to get it in, and it's not as hard. And so I talked to the patient for a while about the procedure. And then whenever I said, let's go ahead and try it, and I began to help her do the nasal gastric tube, guess what? It happened the first time. Why did that happen the first time? And why was I so confident that we could do it the first time? Now, I tell that story because that is a story that is a perfect picture of the formula for how to be confident. Being confident is very important when you're the leader. Am I right? It could be as simple as you taking your next PT test, your next physical fitness test. It could be that. How can you go in there and be confident that you're going to get a perfect score? Or it could be you're going before a board and you're looking to career progress. And so how can you be confident that you're going to win favor with the board? It could be that you're going to BOLIC, Basic Officer Leadership Course. And that's what I leave for next week. So the question is, how can you go forward with confidence that you're going to do well? The formula is simple. It's like this: knowledge plus experience times integrity equals competence, which equals confidence. Now let me say that whole thing again. Knowledge plus experience times integrity equals competence, and that equals confidence. Now already you're going, oh my gosh, a formula. There's no way this is going to work. And hey, I'm asking you right now, look at this formula, work it out, and see if it actually works. Now that resident in my story who was doing the NG tube on the patient, That resident had a lot of knowledge. That resident had already been to school for probably 7 years. Yet that resident lacked the hands-on experience of actually having received an NG tube herself. She had no idea of how to empathize or the experience of what it's like to actually do it successfully. She had never experienced that. So in the formula, the resident had knowledge but had no experience. And so the whole formula failed. Now, here is the multiplier. You have the knowledge and experience, but that's all times integrity. Now, where does integrity come in? Let's say I came on shift and I had been drinking and I had alcohol in my system. That's going to make it harder for me to actually be competent and then be confident. Another integrity factor could be that I have my phone on in my pocket. And when I'm using all my knowledge and experience to administer a procedure on a patient, my phone rings and it makes me shake. What you'll find is that the integrity part is the great multiplier and the X factor. And that is the thing that you have to be very, very careful to make sure that you have. So let me give you another example. How confident are you that you can actually get a 600 on the PT test? Well, let's look at the formula. First and foremost, knowledge. Do you know how to do each of the actual exercises? Not only that, have you actually experienced each of those exercises so that you know the best way that you can do it? Then day of, have you actually gone to the bathroom prior to getting out there? Have you actually done everything that you know you have to do, both dietary and sleep-wise, to make sure that you are going to have the integrity when it's time to go out there and actually perform? If you have the knowledge and the experience with the exercises, and you have the integrity, then when you get out there, you are competent and you can be confident that you're going to do well. The last example I want to give to you is just the idea of going before the board. You're looking to get promoted and you want to get promoted. You want your career to progress. So before you go to the board, you're going to make sure that you study out every single question, every single creed. You're going to make sure you have studied everything that could be a question that might be asked of you. Now, once you have read all the books and you've studied all the creeds, you've went and talked to your command and you've looked at all the things that you can do to get mentoring and to get information that you need to do the best you can do. Now you have to practice and gain the experience by walking through each of the questions and each of the movements so that you can have the knowledge and the experience all to be prepared for that day. The X factor, the multiplier, is integrity. And this is the question you have to ask yourself. What do I have hidden that could hinder me when I go before the board? What could possibly be a hindrance to me garnering favor with those in command? Let's just think about that. How are my finances? I know if I'm a leader, that is a question that I want to find out. How are you doing with finances? Or how do you do with finances? Do you go out and buy a brand new vehicle when you can't afford it? Or maybe it'll just be a simple math question that's posed to you. But how you are with your finances is a big deal. Another one you might consider is something that's morally off. In other words, have you checked yourself spiritually? If something is morally off in your own heart, what's going to happen when you're facing difficult questions is it's going to come out as a lack of confidence. It's going to come out as insecurity. So you've gotten all the knowledge that you are privy to. And then you got all the experience because you've taken the time to practice. And day of, when you walk in there and you have integrity, there's nothing more competent than a person with the knowledge and the experience solidified and multiplied by the integrity. And what's going to happen is you will be competent and you will be confident. Now, finally, I want to ask the question, can you fake it till you make it? Fake it till you make it is something you say when you lack confidence. Here's why. At any point there's something lacking, what's going to happen is doubt comes creeping in. And when doubt comes creeping in, competence and confidence disappear. If there's a lack in my knowledge, you're going to see it. If there's a lack in my experience, you're going to see it. And if there's a lack in my integrity, you're going to feel it at the very least. I can't fake it till I make it, and you can't fake it till you make it. No leader should ever fake it till you make it. That is a leader that is unprepared. If you get the knowledge and you get the experience and you have the integrity, you will be confident. Hey guys, this is Kevin Jones, your spiritual operator, your unconventional chaplain. I will be signing off for a little bit because I'm going to Chaplain Basic Officer Leadership course, so you guys can be praying for me. If you are a leader and you want more of this, would you please like, subscribe, share this video, and would you keep up with all that I'm putting out? Hey, until my next one, stand up, stand out. I'll see you later, guys.